She's a mean green mother from outer space. Hello everybody and welcome to Brawl Stars. I'm Amy the Amazonian and today I'm revisiting Jenova Ancient Calamity. Buffs up your creatures, turns them into mutants, and draws you cards when mutants die. And you may be aware that TMNT, with mutants in the name, has a lot of mutants in the game. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles added a bunch of mutants, which help you draw additional cards, and many of which fall into the +1/+1 counter or scales theme of Jenova. You can even add more sacrifice cards, but you can really lean into just having high power, self-sacrificing mutants in the deck. Jenova is all about ramping into Jenova, getting her out, protecting her, and buffing up your board. But of course, if she's not available to share her counters with everybody else, you can do the same thing with cards like Ouroboros, or maybe just buff up your creatures using things like Ornery Tumblewag. In this deck, we're also taking advantage of some interesting +1/+1 counter synergy that isn't just getting bigger, it's also reanimating cards or just bringing them back from the graveyard. We're also using some other cards that are pretty good at sacrificing, like Grist or the White of the Reliquary, so you can take out your own creatures on demand and draw a lot of cards. You can also now grow your creatures with the Ooze. I'm talking about mutagen counters. Mutagen is a great way to grow your commander so you can grow everything else. And if your creatures happen to die, that's all right. You can store their counters either as mutagen or just as counters on the Ozolith. Then bring your creatures back with a reanimate and do it all again. So let's take Jenova into the queue and cause some trouble with our mutants. Ketramose, the New Dawn, is going to be just exiling things to draw cards, which is kind of tricky for Jenova since I need my things to die for me to draw cards, but they'll also be doing it mostly on their turn anyway, because that's how they get to lose one life, draw a card, and eventually gain everything back. Ketramose is also indestructible, so they're free to play lots of board wipes. Playing this Ketramose, letting them sit around exiling things from the graveyard and just generating value from removal. Some Ketramose decks also have a Blink suite in them, but not that many. Aww, they've rid me of my bird. I'll play an Innkeeper's Talent with nothing to buff. They're looking at this like, do I need to get rid of it? Don't worry about it. Exploration. A Windswept Heath. I'll play this Kodama. I guess I could have played Evolution Witness to grab the land back so they couldn't exile it. They're eating him, which means they will lose a card and draw, or lose life and draw a card. Evolution Witness. Go to combat. Put a counter on it. Grab that Windswept Heath. Play the Windswept Heath. Crack it open. Ooh, I could have actually, like, adapted in the middle on that, too. That could have been fun. Well, I'm ramping. I added a bunch more ramping to this deck as just a way to be like, well, if I can't play Jenova that reliably into removal, maybe I can play her multiple times. Hello. There are cards. Fenrir can buff Jenova, who can then in turn buff one of you. They're playing a 5th land. It's a bog. I also played mine as a land. Like Evolution Witness with Auntie Ool. Oh, because you can remove her counters to place more counters. That is fun. So they have 1 white mana left here, so they can exile something from my graveyard or their graveyard, but they'll want to do it now to draw the cards. Bedrock, thank you for the sub. No, my permanent's in the graveyard. I wanted to get those. And Baleful Mastery, but letting me draw. Bitter Triumph. I can't kill Ketramose, but I can kill the Lion Sash. But do I want to? I don't have creatures in the graveyard, so not really, no. Okay, that is the order I want that in. I would like to put the counters onto Fenrir, even though they might exile it first. This dies on its own. So, like, the curve I always want is Fenrir comes out, ramps. Next turn buffs Jenova, Jenova buffs it. It is a mutant when it dies at the start of my next turn. If Jenova is still in play, I get to draw a lot of cards. I turn Fenrir into a mutant? Yeah, but I don't have a Jenova anymore. Dang it. Now it's just gonna die, but I think it will draw me a card. I think I do have a creature with the highest power. Are you gonna get rid of it? Just to prevent my card draw? I guess it would also get them card draw. Anguished Unmaking. They're willing to lose 3 life to prevent me from drawing a card. They also get to draw another. Pit of Offerings. They will be able to attack and gain 4 now. Or block. Nah. Yum, yum, yum. Cards from graveyard. Ketramose is like, hey, I've been worshipped so good. Look at me. And they're back up to 9, and I'm at 16. Are there any creatures here? Any creatures? No, no. Everything's dead. Everything's dead and gone forever. Yeah, it would be. I can make a lot of mana. Guess I'll do it. You buff you. You buff this. And I can attack in here. Or I can use it to level this up. I'll use it to level this up. We have a tiny bit of protection from Ward. I love mana. Yes, I do. But exile and removal doesn't work for you. I need stuff to die. I do have some sacrifice pieces. Like, I have, like, Phyrexian Tower. I have the 2-mana Vigilant Mutant, or a Vigilant creature that can sacrifice the mutants. Oh, someone is wiping the board. A clue! A clue! They gain 5 more life. They're now winning the life battle. No, don't exile the Kami, please. Just let me reanimate it. No, my Scales creature! Hurt me, Ketramose. Oh, this is great. The 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and it gets doubled. Nice, 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 nice. Goldvein Hydra is kind of the bomb. Thank you, Goldvein Hydra. I love you, Goldvein Hydra. It is haste. Nashi Illusion Gadgeteer. We recurring things from the graveyard in order to take me out. Now, I have a Sausage Chocobo. I can play it on turn 1. I'm probably going to lead with this other bird, though, Birds of Paradise, so I can get lots of spells done on the next turn. I could go like Sausage Chocobo, I could Ozolith, I could Fetch. Giving me some potential banking of things against Nashi. And Nashi is one of those crazy overstated card with just a very, very helpful ability. Especially because it gives the things that it brings back. Some haste. Ooh, Graveyard Hate. I am very, very happy with the amount of graveyard hate that I fit into my deck that is also part of the +1/+1 counter theme. There is a lot of graveyard stuff right now. There is so much graveyard stuff, whether it is Stick Fingers combo or just other reanimation, whether it's recurring spells from a graveyard like what Nashi's doing. Having graveyard hate is huge, and +1/+1 counters has a lot of options. I don't have it in here, but Scavenging Ooze is a classic. We've got Soul Cauldron, we've got the Ooze, Emperor of Bones. They're all great to hinder graveyards, which is something that you kind of just need to do these days. You need to have flexible removal. You need to have flexible threats. And Emperor of Bones can even be a flexible threat by taking your opponent's stuff. I feel like if I play Jenova here, she's not going to survive, so I'm going to play the Ocelus. You're one short of Nashi mana. Boop, boop. Unless they have Dark Ritual. Ew, Nashi. Every day I'm saying this. Don't need to hit my own land. And I think I'm not even attacking with Emperor of Bones because there are some flash creatures I'm a little worried about. No black. Oh, you're right. They have no black mana for Ritual. It's just the Hobbit. The Growth Spiral in. None of these guys are mutants, though. Oh, and also, Emperor of Bones sacrifices the creature, but it doesn't die because of the finality counter. In case you do bring back a mutant. Hi, Nashi. Marsh Flats. Embiggen the chicken. Embiggen the chicken again. All I know in this world is chicken embiggening. Jenova, I want you to grow the Hydra. And part of that is because if the Hydra dies, I get a bit of a refund. And I'd also get... well, I'd get, you know, treasures and cards. Okay, so they are nullifying Jenova's ability. This does not get the buff. That's fine. I'm still swinging in with these two. You can still kill this. I'll still get 2 treasures. I just won't get, like, cards drawn. I wanted cards. Also, I'll get to bank the, counters. Nice, they're down to 10. Yeah, squawk and roll. Hello, Nashi. Okay, Surgical Metamorph. Okay. I see you also have a Jenova. Mine's better. Mine's better because I said so. Mine's better because I have a Chocobo. She's got a good stat line for blocking. Debt Collector, you are not getting cards in your graveyard for that. Who becomes a mutant? You? Me? Who's a mutant here? Tidebinder's a mutant. Yep. Goldwing, keep going in. Give me those treasures. I'm probably going to be adapting this soon, probably this turn, just to make it into a bigger attacker. See if they'll copy this from the graveyard here. They can play that from the graveyard, just at sorcery speed. But Jenova got her abilities back. Because the Tide Binder is dead. The tides have been bound. Why are you looking at all my stuff? Why are you looking at my things, Nashi? Ooh, Barragoyf. Barragoyf would be fine in this deck, too. The sort of, like, growing threat that people need to kill, good to attack in with. If you're less focused on scales stuff, cards like Barragoyf and the Slasher, Unstoppable Slasher, are really great choices. Empty-handed. Fully chickened. I just want to attack in with this. Yeah, yeah! All y'all in! Oh, I could be banking the finality counter. That's funny. How's this Chocobo out here just being a superstar? They kill the wee hobbit. Take that, Ozolith. I get my finality counter, too. They replay the Barragoyf. This thing's gonna be a big one, though. Because we can now start buffing up Jenova from the Ozolith. Aww, Barragoyf's a mutant. I'm gonna make the biggest Saz's Chocobo. If they ever start blocking it, kind of wild. Put it on the gold vein. Yep. Very big. Jenova dying is so fine here because I just bank the counters player again. I have mana for it and I don't have mana for anything else. The bird's not even a mutant, by the way. The bird's just been bird. Hello, yes. This is Bird. I guess they could replay things off Jet Collector again. Are you willing to take 6? Bird. Large. Chunky. They're going to 2, but then they're going back up to 5 because of lifelink. Jenova, we return you. Counters get banked. Cast you again. Jenova returns. And I'll fetch into the Surveil land to try to set up not top decking a land. Like, hey, the lands are not the worst here. Oh, they're heisting from me. The lands are not the worst because we have something with landfall, but still. I added more landfall stuff into this deck because there's so much like landfall scales stuff. If you kill my Goldvein Hydra, I put the counters on Birds of Paradise, and then we get real silly. Nashi, by the way, has just been chilling this whole time. Why bother with Nashi when you have Jet Collector? He's busy collecting jets. I forgot I had themed sleeves for this deck. I was like, oh, whose sleeves are those? This person has the sleeves I usually use. Oh. Grief, empty-handed. I think they're trying to get the Moxen so they can clone post-combat. Is that what's happening here? But I mean, Goyf, if it hits my face, also gets to mill. Yeah, alright, so they go straight through. Oh, Speed Brood Stalker! I'm surveilling. I can also, like, thin the deck more. Yeah, see? Aren't you glad I surveilled? I'm choosing... I think I'm choosing Saz's Chocobo. Gold Vein. Nah, Saz's Chocobo. Yeah, you're probably gonna get to hit 2 things on this. They're having trouble deciding too. They're like, oh, but they get the counters. Yeah, I want really big Birds of Paradise. They always pick my commander? No, they pick the thing with trample. Treasures, 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 treasures. Yeah, 17! Too many lands. Okay, yep, in that order. Birds of Paradise, I'm gonna need you to get freaking massive. Jenova, you're going in too. Ozolith is great, isn't it? A chunk? A chunk. Move my commander back to the command zone. I got a lot of treasures. Finally feast up on the fetch. Replay Jenova. Might even make sense to like wait until next turn to play Jenova if they didn't have Nashi as commander. And this is why you always bolt the bird. Yeah, because sometimes the bird is buff. They have Metamorph. They went second, right? Oh, nope, they're just heisting me again. Wait, what did they heist from me the first time? Oh, the Speed Brood Stalker. I honestly would have just accepted that being in their deck, but this is one of my pet cards. Ooh, and it looks like the 18 power Jenova's gonna win. Nice. Tidus, Yuna's Guardian, is gonna be growing their creatures the same way we do with tons of +1/+1 counters. I have some cheap removal that actually can hit a lot of cards in their deck until they hit counters on them. Then it's not gonna work. We have Deathrite Shaman, but no fetches. I have a Surveil. I don't quite think this is what I want, so I'm going to Mulligan. I got some more interesting ramp here. The Copy of Baber Groves will actually probably not do much unless I draw another land, though. And well, would you look at that? I drew another land. Yeah, we have Earthbending to get more mana. We have the Kodama. We have Ouroboros. Ouroboros might be my favorite card with Jenova. Yeah, this is counters versus counters. Ha! Augie. Go, my Kami of Bamboo Groves. Tidus, Yuna's Guardian. They have a counter. They're not gonna move a counter. They're gonna hit me. They're gonna proliferate. They're gonna draw a card. Cloudfin grows. You know who else is gonna grow? Everything in play. Ouroboros. Hey, I'll trade you. Badgermole Cub for a Tidus. You don't like her wig? I don't think it's a wig. She actually has like a more humanoid face, I feel, here than she did in the original game. But it was also like old PS1 graphics. You love it. You think she's very yassified. I feel like the like dark purple lipstick, she's got that glow. Ooh, Toski! Sharing the love on those counters again. Who do I think should be a mutant? I guess we always go for Ouroboros. Yeah, because we put the counter on you, and then you put all the counters on everyone. And then I guess I swing with all of these. Kodama would have given Trample. If I wanted to share the love. Toski has to attack in. Yeah. Hojo, why'd you put a wig on that alien corpse? Hojo's just that kind of freak. Yeah, he would be. They're drawing cards. They're proliferating. And we play Kodama next turn and just steamroll over them. GG. Leovold, Emissary of Trest, doesn't want me drawing cards. And if I touch their permanent, they'll be drawing cards. Or if I target anything they have, really. I have Hardened Scales. I have a little bit of removal for Leovold, but what I do not have are any other creatures in this hand. That's fine. I'll draw them. Maybe, eventually. We'll see. I got Hardened Scales. Oh, never mind. I got the baby. Saz's Chocobo. Yeah, Leovold is pretty frustrating in the command zone, especially when your commander's like trying to draw cards. They can also force you to draw cards, which means that you don't draw cards at all. I will Harden Scales. Yeah, Harden Scales first. And I have to pick which land I want to play. Because I don't think I want to Fatal Push the Deathrite Shaman. I think I'd rather save that for Leovold. But then again, I don't really want them ramping. And I have the Deluge here. I feel that my deck is better with the Deluge since we're so good at increasing the toughness of the creatures. Yeah, I want to keep the fetch land, though, for when I have Michelangelo, because that's another Scales effect. Hello, is it time for Leovold? No, they're murdering my Chocobo! So rude. I was gonna get so many counters on my little guy. I'm planning on surveilling this turn. This is a mutant, by the way, so if it dies at all on my turn, when Jenova's in play, I'll get to draw cards. You think Leovold gamers are haters? Very much so. Haters with lots and lots of value, since Sultai is kind of like the value colors. Alright, they didn't use removal, so we're chill on this. One Mortuary. Ooh, Golden Hydra. I don't think I played Jenova this turn. I can, though. I think I like Goldvein more, though. Those are identical effects, so it doesn't matter which way you order them. They awaken the honored dead. Are you grabbing that Glarb? Nadu? Glarb's able to trade into things. Also triggers Oasis of Renewal. Nice. Wistfulness. They can draw, they can discard, and they can exile Hardened Scales. Thankfully, we have backup Hardened Scales with Mikey. Hardened Scales, by the way, is like a maybe card in this deck. It is good, but since we have cards like Michelangelo and the Snake and the... was it the Wombat? I don't feel like you need the non-creature ones as much in Jenova. Now, I have the choice here between using the Mutagen to buff Jenova, which would in turn let me buff Mikey more, or holding Revitalizing Repast. I want to be aggressive here, so I'm going to go for the Mutagen. I get one additional counter, which means we're going to get even more counters here, and I'm swinging with both Mikey and the Gold Vein Hydra. Gold Vein Hydra, because it's not a mutant, won't draw me cards, but it will get me a very large assortment of treasures. 5 tapped treasures. This is a cool shirt. Thank you. My brother and his girlfriend got it for my birthday. They're like, we know you've been really deep into researching TMNT for the Magic set, so we got you this. I'm like, thank you. I learned so many things about random side characters and one-off villains. A Scooz. They have 2 green mana up. Okay. I was thinking about, like, do I think they have removal here? Because I could go for the Deluge to try to get rid of the blocker and, like, try to get lethal. It's a Leovold deck, so I really don't think I'm safe to assume they don't have removal. Because I could have, like, put the Revitalizing Repast on this, taken out the Scavenging Ooze, and swung. I have a cool brother. Yeah, I do. Okay, so they're drawing off of Oasis of Renewal with this, too. Oasis of Renewal, I don't think should trigger when it enters. I think that it is a very cool design of a card, and it fits well into the Tarkir Dragonstorm Sultai theme. But I think that, like, it's already doing enough. It's just like a cool enchantment. It doesn't need to trigger when it enters. Hello. Time for Glarbs. Time for massive Glarbage. It's got really cool art. It does have cool art where it's like, you have to kind of look at it from a distance, but it's a skull. But it's also the dragon, was it Tival, seeing its own reflection in front of a temple. Very neat. Ugh. Good grief. All right. Well, I'm going to try to protect Jenova here. Sorry, Mikey. Maybe I ought to protect Mikey just because Jenova can come back. But then I'd have to build her up all over again. Here's Glarb. Here's Jace, and Jace can bounce one of these 2 creatures. Looks like they're going for Mikey. And remember, I can't draw extra cards if Leovold is out. But I can still get silly with it. I'm gonna beef up the Winding Constrictor. Swing for face. Trade with Glarb. Replay Jenova using all these treasures. And though she's not as impressive now, she's still plenty impressive. I just want to make sure she was swinging in a way that forced them to block with Glarb. Now, Jace can just bounce that Winding Constrictor. Leovold's a good blocker, too. Binding Constrictor returns. Ugh. Rusco. I'd like it if I never had to see him. What else you playing? How do we get you to stop playing it? Why didn't you play Leovold? Binding Constrictor, again. Jenova, gonna have you beef up Mikey. Mikey is just a mutant on his own, so kind of hoping he dies here. Mikey at face, Jenova at Jace. They took the damage to face, and they went down to 3. Brainstorm, now they're back up to 4. Yeah. Briscoe making the clocks, sure, that's annoying. Briscoe gaining and draining, so you can just lose the game while they sit there casting demure spells? Blech. The growth spiral. Okay, they at least lose a life off that. And they're surveilling. And the card on top of their deck is... And the card on top of their deck is... Ooh, deep in thought about if they want to keep this one. They're keeping it on top. I wonder what it is. Deceit. We'll let them once again bounce a creature and make me discard that creature. Mikey, no! And they're gonna fate seal me. They put whatever it is to the bottom. Are you playing Leovold? Okay, so Leovold makes the, like, just open attack a lot worse for me. Because I can't draw the cards off this dying. Alright, I got instant speed removal. Swinging with both. Hitting Leovold, they get to draw a card, but I should get to draw 4 here. I was trying to get them to double block just as like a... Teehee, now it feels even better. Alright, and now I get to draw. I had to get rid of Leovold, though, or I don't get to draw. Okay, Mutagen Man's gonna be real fun next turn. Here's Bill. Like, does it stink that I had to, you know, get rid of my Binding Constrictor? Yeah, but, like, I got to draw. And Bill's good. Shouldered, however, is very scary, especially with them having this clock. Jace was able to bounce something here, but with both of these at no additional counters, I don't think they really needed to. They put some cards back. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mana. Shoulder gains them 6. Yeah, she does. Choops. I'm getting that shouldered out of here. Or am I? Counterspell. Ugh, back to 11 life, and I'm down to 16? Mumble, mumble. All right, Jenova, get thick. Bigger. More woman, more now. Ooze. Gotta put it all on the lady. So she can maybe trade with Shouldered. Let them just have a kill spell here. Oh, even worse. A bounce spell. And they now have a wheel available. That's wheel swell of you. That they can use with Leovold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So this will just gain them a ton of life because of Sheldred. And I will lose the game because I lose a ton of life. Ow. Ghalta, Primal Hunger, can cost as little as GG. And once she comes out, it could be GG for you because she's a giant dinosaur. Seriously, 12/12 with trample. Even in my most oozy dreams, it is very hard to get a creature as big or bigger than Ghalta. But sorry, Mikey's gonna help me out. Or maybe Bebop and Rocksteady will. Go, my mutant freaks! Yeah, they're gonna play a ton of just, like, high-power creatures to discount this. I feel like most Ghalta players moved over to... There is actually an ooze that's similar in its design, but has some fun, like, sacrifice synergy. Here's Jenova. I'm gonna turn Kami's Bamboo Groves into a mutant. And then sacrifice it to Bebop and Rocksteady. Now, I could have also sacrificed Bebop and Rocksteady to draw 7. I don't think I need 7 cards right now. My hand has enough stuff in it. And I'll tell you right now, yes, my deck has a lot of scales synergy. It is dangerous to turn Mossborn Hydra into a mutant unless you are killing your opponent with it on that turn. Because if you make it into like a 500 power creature, you can't draw 500 cards when they kill it. You'll die. Oh, they foretold the Trailblazer. 420. Trailblaze it. Mikey Weirdness to 11. Use that to buff Jenova. I don't need damage. I want card draw! Discard a card? No. You're going to die to yourselves. But you're gonna come back, so it's fine. Whee! Yeah, this time I wanted to draw 7. There's nothing wrong with wanting to draw 7 cards. It's a normal thing that people sometimes just want to do, okay? I'm an adult. I can make my own decisions. I'll drop Fanatic of Ronus and... Fenrir. You're seeing some disgusting things. Woman murders boar and rhino. For what? For card draw? Yeah, I would. Hey guys, welcome to my fan fiction where Michelangelo is going on a date with Jenova. It's weird. She's like hundreds of years old and an alien. And he's just a teen in the sewers. There's some real complicated stuff happening here. Typical AO3 fare. Yeah, so they're probably trying to count out, like, what they need to play to maximize their Ghalta value. Because they could play Lovestruck Beast into Ghalta and have 2 mana left over. And they'd be drawing 2 cards. 3 mana left over now. There's also a species gap. Ah, that's fine. Ooh, Valgavoth's Onslaught. They get to manifest Dread 3 times. Great use of mana. Each of them is going to have 3+1/+1 counters, but they don't enter as 4/4s. I believe they enter as 2/2s and then get the counters. That's why that didn't, like, fully trigger there. And I think I can kill them with Ouroboros this turn, so I'm going to try. I'm going to put Boots on the Void. Either that or going for the Innkeeper's Talent works. Jenova's going to put her counters onto the Ouroboros. I guess it's not lethal this turn, but it's a lot of stuff. We're going to swing in with all of these. I'll discard. I have cards I can discard. And force them into some kind of rough blocks. And then I'll move that back onto Jenova. Ouroboros Time Walk. I don't have any of my trample enablers right now. Do I want to draw 14? Yes, of course. Do I want to draw 24? Also, yes. I am going to be bigger than Ghalta. Remember how I said at the start it's hard for me to be bigger than Ghalta? Mikey is like, nah. Ouroboros like, nah. Alright, they're ramming Michelangelo, but it happened on their turn, not mine. And they're going to give it up. Bossing say we animate a land or we just play a creature. It gets haste. We win the game. GG. Super Shredder is also in my hand. Super Shredder gets big based on things leaving play, whether they're sacrificed, destroyed, or just, you know, blinked, ninjutsu'd, sneaked, snuck. All of these things will trigger. Also, wow, I sure did just draw gemstone caverns on the draw, so I don't get it into play for free. That's... Yup. If their Super Shredder deck is anything like mine, it'll have a ton of sacrifice stuff. But my Super Shredder will be growing with their Super Shredder, so they're going to want to use some cheap removal on this. And Super Shredder does die pretty easily, which is why I feel in a lot of Super Shredder decks, you're going to protect him by using things that either bank his counters, like the Ozolith, or just make him hexproof, make him have Shroud, make him indestructible. Oh, they shredded my Shredder. They dismembered him! Scraps! Do you remember? Do you remember? I'm gonna have my Deathrite Shaman beat up Super Shredder. Because he's just that strong. That's right, Deathrite Shaman, you're just that strong. They got a whole lot of 1/1s, though. You missed that part of the movie. I mean, Super Shredder in the movie was destroyed by himself. He's like stampeding around underneath a dock, and the dock collapses on him. And I guess because he fused with his armor, he was too heavy to swim, but it's not really explained. Just the dock falls on him, and then he's like, "Rrrr." That's right. How'd I rank each turtle deck? I haven't built every turtle yet. Make my Deathrite Shaman into a mutant. Yeah, they'll have to be a little mindful about like when they kill my creatures. Do you do it on my turn or theirs? Because if they do it on my turn and they either are mutants or I turn them into mutants, then I'll get to draw cards. Why is my kitty so big? My kitty is so big because she's right in front of the camera. And because she's a real cutie patootie. Oh, that gets me extra mana. That's kind of fun. Hello, Scraps. Goodbye, Scraps. I'm just gonna get my fixin' in place. Hardened Scales. Leatherhead, who's already a mutant. But I kind of want this to be able to trade into Preacher. Because then I'll be able to use Agatha's Soul Cauldron to give all my creatures the Deathrite Shaman abilities. At least that should work, I think. Unless they just don't attack on the ground. They're like, yeah, I'm winning in the air. Why bother? Maybe they have a Meat Hook Massacre to finish me off, or like Sephiroth. Oh, hey, Douthy Voidwalker. You're going to make it a lot harder for me to use things from the graveyard, because you make things go straight to exile. All right, I drew my one board wipe, Toxic Deluge. Right now, I have more toughness than they do. Things don't go to the grave, so I don't have to worry about Baragoyf changing anything. So I think I just bring all of my dudes up to 5 toughness. Oh, I can Soul Cauldron first. Right? Are there any creatures in the graveyard yet? No, they're not. Okay, so I'll just, I don't know, go to combat. Leatherhead gets a counter. We're not attacking in. Toxic Deluge for X equals 1, 2, 3, 4. Those are all dead. And I can play Agatha's Soul Cauldron, or I can just chill on this. But I like playing the Soul Cauldron, since they probably have ways to bring things back. Okay, I have one board wipe in the deck, and apparently that's all it takes to take them out. Raph and Mikey, troublemakers. And the trouble they're causing is cheating creatures into play. They typically have a bunch of removal, and then one creature in their deck. I've seen now Emrakul as the one creature. I've seen Terror of Mount Velis as the one creature, but the point of the single attack is that hopefully they kill you on that attack. Now, how do you stop Raph and Mikey from doing that? Well, you kill them before they attack. And in my deck, I do have a couple pieces of instant speed removal. I've actually added more over time. Not all of it hits Raph and Mikey, though, because they're a 7-cost creature. But a good enough amount does. Oh my god, drawing the Gemstone Caverns right after my opening hand on the draw. Yeah, I would. I have a Deathrite Shaman. Classic. Yeah, usually a lot of land-based ramp, no creature-based ramp. Classic Gemstone. Classic Gemstone Caverns. Take that Arid Mesa out of your graveyard. Use it for some mana. Alien. You can also name Mutant. They're both really fun. Kami of Bamboo Groves, and I'm gonna hope that you don't have a bolt, but I think if you did, you would have used it. They also have a Dark Depths in play, I guess as a backup. Since they're doing all this like land fetching, sure, Dark Depths can well, it can become Merit Lage. Are you indestructible? You're not. Huh. Beseiju could be helpful here. Take another land out of their graveyard. Just gonna go for some ramp here. Put the counters onto the Kami. The Kami is going to increase the number of counters we're not swinging in. And then I'm going to use those 3. Actually, wait. I'm gonna hold it for the Beseiju here. Yeah, because next turn I can have a really big Hydra. Cowabunga. Broken Arcade, they give it the 22-month resub. Volcanic Spite's a way for them to put the single creature in their deck back into their deck if it happens to be in their hand. Yeah, right now, though, like, this is just not mana for them. Until they get a Thespian stage, don't worry about it. Ah, you're not instant speed. What a pain. Dang, I wanted a really big Gold Vein Hydra. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Probably not Raph and Mikey next turn. One, two, 3, 4. Put an extra counter on it. Swing in with both. They would need like Ironcrag Feet or something. Yeah, I have so much land here, and none of my landfall. Urza's Cave. Now, Urza's Cave lets them get to Dark Depths things. If they want to. If they want a 20/20 instead of whatever Mikey and Raph are getting. They want lands. Regrowth. Oh boy, more spite. I do like some spite. I don't have any of my ways to kill my own creatures for card draw either. It's a surprise tool that will help us later. You got Bahamutted by a Raph and Mikey? Yeah, I think that brewers are still trying to figure out what big spells to put in their deck, and they might be running multiple. But again, I don't have the single target removal here. All right. Do I think I'm more at risk of dying? Or do I need to focus on killing them? I kill you. 2 more damage. Alright, so wait. They didn't attack in. Yeah, they were at risk of dying. Okay, I'm gonna get another black source. Whatever their single card is, it's not enough. Okay, I'll buff up the Elvish Mystic and swing for lethal. Sure. The Reaper, King no more, will steal a creature each turn that has a -1/-1 counter on it and dies. Also, places those -1/-1 counters. This hand is a little slow. I've got some removal of my own, and I also have, I guess, some counter givers. I've got some ramp. Ramp's good. And I have a way to sacrifice my own creatures in response to the Reaper trying to take them out. If I remember right, it's only during... Yeah, it's once each turn. It's like, I knew that there was like some limitation. Once a turn, Reaper King can do his thing. I should say Reaper King no more. He's not the Reaper King anymore. Ooh, hi, Ouroboros. You're a very good card. Thankfully, you can counter -1/-1 counters by putting a +1/+1 counter on the cards. They just kind of cancel each other out. Ornery Tumblewag! Buff yourself! He's still a Reaper, just not a king. He's a king no more. But he is a Scarecrow. Flame Slash, taking out the Tumblewag. It lives forever in the graveyard. Because I didn't get a land here, I'm going to go for Rocksteady, who is going to get me his mutant bro, Bebop. Who's gonna get me his mutant boat? Okay, there we go. There's Bebop. There's his bay. They're like besties. It's cool. I think that these cards are really fun in Jenova, not just because they're mutants, but like they both have synergy with her, which is great. Rocksteady's definitely the better one for Jenova, but the fact that like he gets an extra card into your hand is really nice. And they brought back Flame Slash and they killed Bebop. Or sorry, they killed Rocksteady. Aw, man! If I play Bebop, they can steal it. And I don't want that to happen. Does Fatal Push kill Reaper King? Oh, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. I actually have to wait for this to resolve before I kill it, or I do not get a card back. I think hitting Ouroboros right. If you're wondering why I didn't play Ouroboros there, it's because single target removal is... I'd rather than put it on the cat. Yep. Hitting the cut down. I'll push a Deathrite Shaman. Sure. I got the mana, let's do it. Sometimes you get to push your own cards, too. Oh, wow. Bebop, Rocksteady, Bebop and Rocksteady. The gang's all here. You got a bolt? You got a bolt? Aww. Which member? Dismember. Spawning Pod. Very funny for turning the Reaper King into a 7-cost creature from your deck. Oftentimes there's like only 1 or 2 in their deck anyway. Oh, Grief! Hi, Ice Till. You buff you. You buff you. We swing in. What you got? Can you give me a card of the same type, right? No, lesser mana value, so a 0-cost card. I don't think I have any 0-cost cards. Oh, hey, Atali. Atali got Innkeeper's Talent and Delighted Halfling. Not the craziest pile of cards, but still good ones to have. I made my Jenova shrink. At least I have a cat mutant to hold me over. I feel like I'm gonna be killing it, though. You killed me for card draw. Oh, maybe not if I get a fetch. That's very fetch. First landfall here. Then put it onto you. This is just me going for maximum catitude. You already know. Big kitty. 10 damage. How many cards do I want to draw? And why is it all of them? I don't have a problem. Okay, I might have a problem. Mana for mana. Una for mana. Big pig, I still have to discard. You want to turn this into Arden? Do you have Arden in your deck? That's the 8 I went for in my deck. Yeah, Arden! For Dinosaur again. You can kill the Kami and steal it. I think over Kami, I probably should have gone for the Bebop and Rocksteady into the free Henge. Yeah, that would have been smarter, because I ended up playing it anyway. Okay, sure, Ghostfire Slice. You are going to have a big dinosaur. Well, it's not as big. It's still plenty big. Assuming you go for the dinosaur. Ooh, Ouroboros. Ah, but it's the beginning of combat, so you won't get the trigger. It does a lot for next turn now, if you're willing to wait. Dinosaurs. 6 damage in the air. Atali on the ground. Oh no! Infernal Grasp! I'm not able to block! Wait, is that lethal? Hold up. It's totally lethal. Good game. Those both have Menace. Excellent. GG, Reaper. Wan Shi Tong, Librarian. Can counter a lot of our spells and hold up the mana because they have Flash. And if I search my library with, say, a fetch land, they can draw a card and grow their bird. This hand seems fine. I got turn 1, either Hardened Bonds or Boots. Then I got a Fanatic Aronis on the turn after. And hopefully we'll start putting counters on things with, I don't know, Jenova and Soul Cauldron. Soul Cauldroning the Fanatic's kind of funky, isn't it? Huh. Like you can get it out of the graveyard with the Eternalize. Or you could do more. I'll get the Hardened Bonds out first. This is card advantage. If I manage to put counters on things, it can trigger on my turn and their turn. The Fanatic. Spiked. Not surprised. It's in the graveyard, where we thought it would be. I'll play a Cursed Wombat. In response, they Brain Surge! Searching for their library for the perfect answers. Yeah, the perfect answer is I have a Wombat. How do you respond? Oh, with the Subtlety, they're gonna put it back on top of my deck. Good old free spells. At least it's a free spell that uses up another spell. Playing a land. Cursed Wombat. Agatha's Soul Cauldron. And pass the turn. I'm doing this now to get the triggers. And sure, they could bounce it. But I can replay my Wombat. Maybe even give it haste. They're swinging in for 3. That's a Fountain Port. Could use some mana. If they don't deal with the Wombat here, it taps for 4 mana. Awesome. It taps for 4 mana. I'm going to tap for 4. Yeah! We love having mana here. Sure, why not? Henge. I think this is the thing to answer. Okay, they have a Wash Away. Sweet little Cubba Bubba. Boots. And to get the triggers, even though we could wait, we ain't gonna. Triggers, triggers. Meow, wow. Ooh, XL Goldvein Hydra. Yeah, having a lot of the cheap spells and a ton of extra mana means that I'm able to play multiple spells, which early on in the game makes it harder for them to counter. But they are getting in this very good evasive damage. Why does this have Vigilance? Dang. All right, so they bounce those both, but I have the boots in play, so I can reset it as long as we're getting a counter on things. So, like, let's see. If I go... No, I don't have a creature in the graveyard right now. So I can't put the counter like that. If I do this for X equals 3, though... It already had the base 1 power. So I can tap it. Ooh, I'll play you. And you. And I also now have something with reach, which is helpful. Also, if you go for anything from your graveyard, I'll take it away. Take it away, take it away, take it away now. The Meringue River region does have like a 2.5 turn clock, though. Go for their graveyard. I'll hit Wash Away. Meringue region? Meringue. Remember, fetching does grow Wii Tong. Aw, Bebop! I do like Bebop. Speed Brood. I like Speed Brood even more. You want to replay your Wii Tong for bigger? Here's your chance! Fountain Port. Mega Fish? Okay. Sure, I'm going for the river region either way. That's the big spooky. Spooky Tanuki. I'm gonna let you draw a card. Hit you for black mana. They get to search, or they get the search trigger. Then we can let you tap for 4 or you tap for 4. Wait, was that the second trigger? Oops. Okay, so I should have put it on one of those. It didn't really matter though. We only have 1 black, so we can use it for you. Also go for Jenova, but I like this more. Long River's Pull. Now what am I supposed to do with all this mana? Whatever, I'll attack you. Die. I hit you. I wanted to play Bebop and Rocksteady in the same turn. Creatures modified. Okay, now we're back to being able to put counters on things. Oh no, I searched my library. They bonk. They now have enough mana to bounce everything. They should do it now before I go to a main phase. Once I go to a main phase, I have access to all of it again. So you got a Cyclonic Rift or what? Mystic Sanctuary. Are you pondering what I'm pondering? I'm actually kind of surprised they put Ponder on top. Okay, bing bong. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Aetherize is a possibility, and I will play around Aetherize. What do we seek? You think I look like I'm in trouble? Hey, Rocksteady, I was looking for you before! I don't think we look like we're in trouble. I think we're in a pretty sweet spot right here. He's already in the graveyard. I'll still shuffle. Hey, it says may put, not search. Get beefy? Okay. Leave myself with the mana to replace some of these. I think... you, you, and you. Do not feed Bebop to Rocksteady. Why not? I don't understand. Why shouldn't I? Just keep searching. I don't care. They can keep growing. We can have a counter. Partners until the end. Yum, yum, yum. Oh, that was the doubling trigger. I should be paying more attention. Wait, where am I getting black mana from? That's 4 mana. Maybe, yeah, maybe there's a mutant custom about eating diamonds. Okay, there's the rift. I can either gain life, or I could put another card in hand. I'll just gain life. This will unfortunately undo the Soul Cauldron having the Mana Dork in it. And now it's just like, which counterspell do you have? Oh, it was Soul Cauldron because it says any mana on it. I don't remember those things. Oh, you tapped out? Yeah, sure, whatever. Oh no, you get to draw 3. Do you have a free counterspell? No. No, you don't. Come here, I need boots. Boots on bug equals kill owl. Math. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Brawl Stars. Jenova is a really fun commander, and I really like getting to play her, though she is a magnet for removal, and she's kind of tricky to protect at 4 mana. I think that she is cool, and I really like getting to add the mutants into this deck. Just having that additional layer of, you play Jenova, you buff something, and you sacrifice it to Bebop and Rocksteady, or you sacrifice themselves to themselves. That sort of stuff is really cool in this deck. And I think in most scales deck, that's +1/+1 counters decks, Earthbending is also really nice. It also gives you a way to be like, okay, I made a creature, I'm gonna give it up, I'm still gonna get my land back, but that way I am drawing cards for the turn, or maybe I'm banking up those counters on Ozolith. A lot of great new ways to do things. Something I had to do in this deck is move its curve down. This deck actually used to have a lot more 4, 5, 6, and 7 drops, even some cool cards like Vorinclex that got removed just because the meta is so quick. It didn't happen while I was recording, but I matched into a whole bunch of Rafellos, and I would be like, okay, well, I need to kill their commander, so I added in Cut Down and Fatal Push. And then I actually had to use those removal spells against a lot of other commanders, and they would just leave the game. So those games are not in the recording because it's like, oh, they conceded when I killed their commander on turn 2, but their commander was like Super Shredder, so why did they leave? Super Shredder needs to be killed. Rafellos needs to be killed. There are these extremely low-cost threats that need to be taken out. And this deck was moved into both going faster into its own game plan with more turn 1 ramp, and also taking out opponents' things with a bit more focused removal. Kind of doing both of those things at once helps this deck perform better in the queue the way the queue currently is. If you're looking for the deck list, I think I might have said it, it's in the description of the video. And if you'd like to suggest a commander for me to either update with TMNT cards or just do some TMNT stuff with, please let me know. I'm actually, after playing them a bunch of times in this deck, I kind of like the idea of putting Bebop and Rocksteady in as commanders. Not Bebop and Rocksteady, Bebop and Rocksteady individually. But I feel like if I have partner commanders, even if they're like janky partners like these two, they're gonna match into the actual partner decks where there's like synergy. I just want to play silly mutants, and playing silly mutants, that's what this deck does. It's real fun. Thank you all so much for watching and have a brawlful day.